Deniz's POV. It was 2 a.m., and I just convinced myself that one more Red Bull could fix my GPA. I was dead wrong. My dorm looked like a crime scene, and I was the body. Papers everywhere. Highlighters without caps bleeding neon on my desk. Half-eaten instant noodles sitting on top of my calculus textbook like they were judging me. I'd been awake for, almost 40 hours? My brain was humming like a dying fridge. I shoved another sticky note out of my way and mumbled, "If I fail this exam, I might as well summon divine intervention." And because sleep deprivation turns you into a clown, I looked up focus rituals on the internet. I found this sketchy site that looked like it was coded on a potato. Somewhere between the broken Latin and the pixelated demon clip art, I just started laughing. "Oh yeah, this'll totally help me remember derivatives," I said to myself, pulling a candle from my emergency stash. For ambience. Not satanic emergencies. Until now, I guess. I lit it, squinted at the screen, and repeated the words like someone doing bad karaoke. The lamp flickered, then flickered again, then straight up erupted with a pop. The air dropped 10 degrees. The tiny hairs on my arms stood up. My laptop crackled with static like it was about to whisper 7 days. And then a voice filled my room from everywhere at once. "Who summons Iblis of the ninth circle?" I swear my soul left my body for a full 3 seconds. Standing on my bed, actually standing on it, was a man. Or something shaped like one. Long black hair that fell over his shoulders like liquid shadow, skin inked with glowing symbols. Silver eyes that didn't look real. And the kind of smirk that belonged in, not PG environments. I made a noise that was kinda human. Kinda choking possum. I was trying to pass calculus, not call Satan. He tilted his head and gave me this slow look, like he was trying to figure out if humans were always this stupid, or if it was just me. "You saved me, mortal," he said, stretching as if he'd just woken from a nap. His voice was deep, smooth, and confident. "I owe you a life debt." That made me panic more. "I don't want a demon life debt. I want a passing grade." He blinked, amused. "Your mortal schooling seems beneath my abilities." "Then pay my tuition," I snapped, because sarcasm is my emotional support animal. He laughed. Actually laughed. The sound was warm and low enough to make my spine tighten. "No, I'll pay you in knowledge." "Great. Useless." I dragged a hand down my face. "Do you even know calculus?" "I know." He leaned down toward me, silver eyes locked on mine. "Many things." My ears went hot. My brain did a full restart. "Okay, nope, we're not doing this," I babbled. "Put that voice away." He raised a brow. "You summoned me. You do not dictate my tone." "Bro, I said a meme spell. I didn't sign a pact." He actually looked offended. "You spoke the seal of awakening. It was on Tumblr." He blinked. "A sacred archive?" "Oh my god." He took a step closer, and I backpedaled so fast I tripped over a pile of textbooks and slammed onto my back. He didn't even pretend not to be entertained. "You're clumsy," he said. "Yeah, well, you're terrifying." He leaned down like he wanted to whisper something dangerous. "Most mortals faint when they first see me. Sorry to disappoint." His gaze dipped over me for a fraction of a second. Slow enough to notice, fast enough to pretend I didn't. My chest tightened in a way I really didn't have time for. Iblis straightened again, stretching like a cat. Tattoos shifting as if they were alive. "Your fear is fading," he said. "I wouldn't say fading," I muttered. "More like incapacitated by exhaustion." "Ah," his smile sharpened. "You're curious." "I'm panicking. There's a difference." "And yet," he murmured, "you keep looking at me." My entire face went hot. "That's because you're standing on my bed." "My bed? Get off." He stepped down slowly, deliberately, like he was humoring me. "Very well, mortal," I groaned. "Please stop calling me that." "What would you prefer I call you?" I opened my mouth, closed it, decided honesty was a trap. Deniz. He repeated it softly. Deniz. The way he said it sounded like a secret. Something in my chest did a weird traitorous flip. I cleared my throat violently. Okay, look, I need sleep. Or a brain transplant. Or both. Can you, unsummon yourself? No. Why not? I owe you a life debt. Well, can your life debt wait until daylight? No. God, I was going to die before midterms. We just stared at each other for a second, neither of us sure what came next. My fear wasn't choking me anymore. It was still there, yeah, but something else was weaving through it. Curiosity. Interest. That magnetic pull you feel before you. Admit you're attracted to someone you absolutely should not be attracted to. He watched me like he already knew. That night, I realized coffee wasn't my biggest problem anymore. Next morning, morning sunlight stabbed me awake like it held a personal grudge. For 5 whole seconds, I forgot I'd accidentally summoned a supernatural menace. Then I rolled over and saw him. Iblis was sitting at my desk with my calculus book open, turning pages with this bored elegance like he was reviewing a menu. He didn't look up. You drool in your sleep. I jolted upright so fast my blanket tried to strangle me. You're still here? You still need me. He finally glanced over, smirking. You're welcome, I groaned. This is a nightmare. No, this is a life debt. He rose from the chair like gravity meant nothing. Get dressed. We begin. Begin what? Your correction, I choked. My what? The smirk got sharper. Studying, obviously. God, I was doomed. I dragged a hand over my face. This was my life now. 3 days later. By the 3rd day, I'd accepted 2 things. 1, demons were real, and 2, mine was a terrible tutor. My dorm was slightly cleaner, but only because Iblis got sick of stepping on my clothes and reorganized my room like some judgmental supernatural housekeeper. He claimed it was for efficiency. I claimed it was controlling. He ignored me. I was flipping through my cupboard for my stash of stationery items when I noticed a rolled parchment tucked inside my cupboard, wedged between my hoodies like it paid rent. What the hell is this? I asked, dragging it out. Iblis didn't even look up from where he lounged on my bed like a bored cat. Put it back. No. What is it? His eyes finally met mine, colder than usual. A reversal scroll. Reversal of what? Me, he said flatly. It contains a spell that can sustain my existence if needed. And you, he pointed a finger at me, are not to use it unless I tell you. I stared at him. Why would I sustain you? Honestly, I'd be happy if you poofed away tomorrow. His lips curved, slow and sharp. Only time will tell what you'll feel for me, little mage. I'm not little. Debatable. I threw the scroll back into the cupboard and slammed it shut. There, untouched. Happy? He smirked. I'll be happy when you stop lying to yourself. I flipped him off. He looked delighted. I sat at my desk, head in my hands, staring at yet another problem I'd solved wrong. Iblis stood behind me, too close, shirt half open like he was allergic to buttons, the faint warmth of him brushing the back of my neck. Wrong again, he murmured, voice low enough to shake something loose in my brain. You need correction. I glared over my shoulder. I don't need correction. I need boundaries. He raised a brow, amused. Boundaries are for the weak. Then I'm weak, I muttered. Respect my weakness. He leaned down, breath skimming my cheek. No. My pulse did a stupid flip, and I pretended not to notice. He flicked my forehead. Hard. Ow, dude. Physical correction improves memorization. No, it improves concussions. He flicked me again anyway, gentler this time. Mocking. I swatted his hand. Missed. Hit my water bottle instead. It toppled. Papers got soaked. Iblis sighed like I was the inconvenience. You are remarkably clumsy. And you're remarkably annoying. You summoned me. It was a meme spell, he smirked. And yet here we are. His fingers brushed my jaw like he meant to grab my chin. He didn't, but the implied touch made my stomach twist. "Focus," he said, voice softer, too soft. "Try again." I tried. I failed. He flicked me again. "Stop abusing me." "It's not abuse. It's guidance." "Yeah? How was you leaning on me like a stripper a guidance?" He moved closer, close enough that his hair brushed my shoulder. "If it distracts you," he whispered, "that isn't my fault." My breath caught. I hated that he knew it. Campus Cafe. Same day, I escaped to the cafe because I needed a demon-free radius of at least 50 feet. I bought a cheap iced coffee, sat near the window, cracked open my notes, and told myself, he can't follow me everywhere. He has boundaries. Probably. Maybe. I knew I was lying. Because the second I tried to solve another derivative, I saw movement in the glass. His reflection appeared behind mine, smirking like a menace. "You forgot the negative sign." I inhaled my coffee wrong and straight up choked. People turned to look. A girl blinked at me. "You okay?" "Yeah, absolutely," I croaked, pounding my chest. Iblis's reflection tilted its head. "Your lungs are fragile." "You scared me." "You scare easily." "You're invisible right now," I hissed. "Invisible perks." His reflection leaned closer, lips nearly brushing my ear. "I can haunt you anywhere." "Haunt me." Quietly. "No." I shoved my notes away and stood up before I could combust on the spot. He followed, in the glass, in the shadow on the floor, in the corner of my eye. Always half present, always watching. And the weirdest part? I was starting to get used to it. Later that night, dorm again. He sat cross-legged on my bed, flipping through my textbook, upside down. "That's not how humans read," I muttered. "That's not how humans study," he countered. "Touché." He closed the book and looked around my room again. The clutter, the string lights, the ramen bowls. His expression shifted, not mocking, not amused, thoughtful. "You humans fill your spaces with warmth," he said quietly. "Colors, softness, light. That's a nice way of saying my room is messy." "It is messy," he admitted, "but alive." I paused, surprised. "You miss this? The, human stuff?" His eyes flicked to mine, something raw passing through them before he masked it. "Maybe I do," he said. We just stared at each other for a beat. Too long, too charged, too something. I looked away first, because of course I did. I grabbed my pencil. "Okay, one more problem." "Good," he said, moving behind me again. "Don't flick me." "I can't promise that," I groaned. "You're impossible." "And yet," he murmured, voice warm, "you keep calling for me." "I'm not calling for you." "You think of me," he corrected. "That's enough." My throat went tight. I hated how easily he could pull reactions out of me. I hated how much I noticed the way he breathed, the sound of his voice, the stupid half-open shirt. But I hated even more how, when he stepped just a little too close, I didn't step away. Not anymore. He pointed to my notebook. "Try again, Deniz." His voice was softer this time. That was the first time I thought maybe he wasn't just mocking me. Maybe he was learning me the way I was learning him. And God help me, that felt dangerous in a whole different way. 5 days later. Night. The 5th night, I woke up to find him tracing symbols on his skin like he was trying not to disappear. The room was dark except for the soft glow from the hallway light leaking through my door. I blinked the sleep out of my eyes, and there he was, sitting on the edge of my bed, shirtless, silver eyes dimmer than I'd ever seen them. His fingers moved over the glowing tattoos on his chest like he was trying to memorize a map only he understood. He was whispering something, soft, pained. I pushed myself up slowly. "You talk in your sleep?" He didn't look at me, didn't smirk, didn't tease. just kept tracing the symbols like they were fading under his touch. "I dream when I shouldn't," he murmured. That stunned me more than anything. Iblis, the snarky demon who harassed me into studying. Dreaming? I frowned. Dream about what? He stopped moving but didn't answer. The silence stretched too long. My chest tightened a little. "You're freaking me out," I said quietly. That made him glance up, not with annoyance, with something smaller. "Fragile." "I didn't mean to wake you," he said, voice lower than usual. "You were quiet, peaceful." I snorted. "I snore." "You do," he agreed immediately, loudly. I grabbed a pillow and hit him with it. He caught it midair with one hand. Of course he did. I hesitated, staring at the faint glow under his skin. "Iblis, does that hurt?" "No." A pause. "It reminds me." "Of what?" He looked down at his hands like he hated the answer. "That I'm not what I used to be." That hit harder than I expected. The room suddenly felt too small for whatever he was carrying. I swallowed. "Do demons even eat? Or drink? Or—" His lips lifted just slightly. "Curious little scholar." "I'm trying to have a real conversation," I muttered. "I used to," he said softly. "Eat, drink, sleep, laugh." His jaw tightened. "When I was human." My breath caught. "Wait, you were—" He looked away. "Once." The word sounded like a bruise. I didn't know what to say. Every snarky comeback, every joke, every complaint I had stored up, all of it faded. I'd never seen him small. I didn't know what to do with it. He stood abruptly. "Come." "What? Why?" "Your head is a mess." "Mine too." He extended a hand. "We're clearing it." "That's not an explanation." "Deniz." His voice dropped into the tone he used when he wanted me to obey without thinking. "Get up." My stupid legs listened before my brain could say no. I stumbled after him as he dragged me up 2 flights of stairs and shoved open the rooftop door. The wind hit us first, cold, sharp, waking. Rain was already starting to fall, misting the rooftop tiles. I hugged myself against the chill. Iblis stepped into the rain like it didn't touch him. He tilted his head back, letting the drops hit his face. Watching him felt weirdly private. He closed his eyes. Rain streaked through his hair, down his neck, over the lines of his tattoos. He looked almost human. I stepped closer without meaning to. "You like the rain?" "It feels honest." His eyes opened, locking on mine. "You humans waste it, complain about it, but rain? It tries." He let the water pool in his palm. "It brings life even when everything else wants to die." I didn't know how to respond to that. Instead, I took off my hoodie and held it out. "You're getting soaked." He didn't take it, just looked at the hoodie, then at me. Eyes flicking down my body and back up. Slow, intense. "Why do you offer me warmth?" he asked quietly. "When you keep pretending you don't want my touch?" My breath stopped. "Don't start." He stepped closer. "You can't keep pretending." "I'm not pretending," I lied instantly. His fingers brushed my wrist. Just that, a ghost of touch. My whole body flinched like he'd pressed a live wire to my skin. "You can't keep touching me like that," I argued, but he cut me off. "Then stop looking at me like you want me to." My heart dropped straight to my knees. I don't," I stuttered, stepping back. He followed, slow and deliberate. "You do. Iblis. You think I don't feel it." His hand slid to my jaw, not quite touching but close enough to burn. "Every time I lean close. Every time I correct you. Every time your stupid heartbeat jumps like I'm something you're scared to want." I had no comeback, because every word was true, and he knew it. Rain hammered around us, cold and sharp, but his body radiated heat that made my stomach twist. "You say you want boundaries," he murmured, "but you never pull away." He tilted my chin up with one finger, and I cracked. I don't know who moved first, maybe both of us. But suddenly our mouths crashed together, desperate, shaking, not controlled or cocky. Nothing like his teasing smirks. This wasn't lust. This was need. His hand cupped the back of my neck, pulling me closer like he'd been starving for centuries. I grabbed fistfuls of his damp shirt, rain mixing with the warmth of him, the smell of him, the ache of wanting him when I shouldn't. When we finally pulled apart, both of us breathing hard, he rested his forehead against mine. "My name isn't Iblis," he whispered. My heart stuttered. "Then what is it?" He hesitated. A tiny beat, like giving this answer hurt. "Adem." The word fell between us like something sacred. "The man I used to be," he said softly, "before I lost everything." I couldn't speak, couldn't think, just felt something heavy, sharp, warm, all tangled in one. I reached up, brushing a raindrop off his cheek. He didn't move. For the first time, the demon on my bed didn't feel like danger. He felt like a heartbeat. Back in the room. Minutes later, he sat on my bed again, dripping rainwater onto the sheets. I tossed him a towel. He didn't use it. He just kept staring at me like he was trying to memorize the moment. I crawled under the blanket, facing him, heart pounding so hard I felt the mattress shake. "I should be scared of you," I said. He didn't blink. "Are you?" "No." Somehow, that made his expression soften and shatter at the same time. Neither of us spoke for a while. Outside, the rain kept falling. Inside, something between us had changed so quietly, so painfully. It felt irreversible. For the first time, the demon sitting on my bed didn't feel like danger. He felt like a heartbeat. 3 weeks. In 3 weeks after that ridiculous, stupid, perfect kiss, things between us shifted in this quiet, sneaky way. Not dramatic, not loud, just different. Like the air around us, we finally admitted what we were both pretending not to see. The funniest part? I stopped flinching every time he got close. And he stopped pretending he didn't like it when I traced those glowing patterns on his arm. Sometimes I'd write my name with my fingertip on his skin, and he'd murmur, "Careful, boy," in that tone that hit me in the spine every damn time. And okay, maybe I studied in his way now. Meaning, if I made a mistake, I got punished. Hickeys. A lot of spanking. A slow, torturous kiss he never let me finish. I'd be panting like an idiot, shaking, begging, and he'd pull back with that smug smile. When you pass with flying colors, you can have everything you're begging for. So yeah. 3 weeks later, I was kinda dying for him. And then the night everything changed hit me out of nowhere. Days later, I was gone for 10 minutes. Literally 10. Just to grab notebooks from the store around the corner. The moment I pushed the door open, something felt off. The air inside the house was too still, too cold. "Iblis?" I called out, kicking off my shoes and stepping inside. No answer. I walked farther in and froze. He was standing near the window, or trying to. His markings, those gold, molten-looking lines, were blazing so bright they hurt to look at. His whole body flickered like a glitching light. "Iblis." My voice cracked. He turned his head toward me with this tired, crooked smile. "Deniz." He took one step and collapsed before he finished saying my name. My entire stomach dropped. "Iblis." I ran, catching him before he hit the floor. His skin burned under my hands, too hot and weirdly weightless. His eyes struggled to focus. "Easy. Calm down." "How the hell am I supposed to calm down right now?" He huffed a faint laugh. "You yelling at me feels nostalgic. This isn't funny." "Nothing about this is funny," he murmured, then smoothed his thumb along my jaw. "But you look cute when you panic." "Iblis, shut up. What's happening to you? His smile weakened. The flickering worsened. You're killing me, Deniz. I swear my heart stopped. What? No. What does that even mean? He tried to sit up. I pushed him back down and he let me, which scared me even more. Iblis never let me win unless he wanted something. Explain, I demanded. He sighed, breath shaking. Our bond. It's reacting to what you feel for me. I don't understand. You don't want to, he said gently. But you should. I held on to him tighter, like he'd disappear if I blinked. The room dimmed again, then lit up as his body flickered. Iblis, talk to me. He smiled faintly as I panicked. When I was Adem a long time ago, he whispered. His voice softened in a way like saying the name hurt. I was stupid. Careless. He paused to breathe like every word cost him something. I killed something I shouldn't have. A love swan. They were the angels, Deniz. Pure souls. They mate for life. And he swallowed hard. I ended her lovers because I thought he was a monster attacking a village. I didn't know what she was. My chest tightened. So you were cursed. He nodded. She cursed me with her last breath as she couldn't survive without her love. She cursed me to live as Iblis, to only feel love in borrowed pieces. And the moment someone loves me back, he looked down at his flickering hand. I fade. You're fading now, I whispered. Yeah. He gave a sad little laugh. You feel too much. I shook my head wildly. No, this isn't. There has to be another way. There isn't. His voice was gentle, too gentle. The stronger your love, the faster I disappear. My world tilted. Stop talking like you're leaving. I'm not leaving. His glowing hand touched my cheek. I'm being erased. Slight difference. And you will forget me once I disappear. That's not funny. He gave me a soft, almost apologetic smile. I know. I grabbed both his hands, holding on like a lifeline. I'm not breaking the bond. I'm not. I don't care what happens. You should, he said, his voice cracked. For once, you should care about yourself more than me. I am caring about myself, I snapped. That's why I need you here. He went quiet, eyes softening. His voice dipped. Deniz. I shook my head, eyes stinging. Shut up. We're fixing this. I'm not losing you. Not after everything. He watched me like he was memorizing my face. That kiss meant something, I whispered. It meant everything, he answered. I stumbled to the cupboard and pulled out the reversal scroll, the one he always told me not to touch. My hands shook so much the paper nearly tore. Deniz, he warned. Don't. My throat felt like sand. Just don't stop me. He stood, barely steady, flicker worse than ever. You're not ready for this. I don't care. I started chanting the words, voice cracking halfway. Tears blurred everything. Halfway through, his warm, flickering hand covered mine. Deniz. I looked at him, breathing hard. Please, stay. His expression softened so painfully I felt it in my bones. If I come back someday, he murmured, stepping closer until his forehead rested lightly against mine. Even as a stranger. I won't run, I whispered. His lips brushed my cheek. Good boy. My heart broke on the spot. His body glowed, brighter, until everything was white. Please, I whimpered. Then he vanished. Just vanished. A flash of white light, silence slamming into me so loud it echoed. The room felt dead, cold, wrong. My knees buckled and I sank onto the floor. Adem. His real name slipped out like a prayer I didn't know I was saying. Adem, come back, please. Nothing answered. The silence afterward was so heavy I almost believed it took my heart with him. And a minute later, I collapsed on the floor, unconscious. A month later, life went back to whatever this version of normal was. Classes, assignments, exams, Cafes where I sat alone more than usual. A weird kind of quiet followed me everywhere, like I'd misplaced something important, and couldn't remember what it was. A month ago, I woke up in my dorm bed with a splitting headache and this crushing ache in my chest. I didn't remember how I got there. No one knew. I probably overworked myself. But God, that ache. It felt like grieving someone I could no longer picture. Sometimes, in dreams, I heard a baritone voice whispering my name. Sometimes, I saw silver eyes that melted into warm brown, fingers brushing my cheek, someone laughing when I messed up my incantation homework. And then, I'd wake up with tears on my face. No explanation, just emptiness. Today, I was supposed to grab my academic report. And apparently, I'd passed with insane grades. The kind that made the professors grin at me like I'd finally fulfilled my potential. I didn't remember studying that hard, but sure. With the paper folded in my pocket, I grabbed a coffee and wandered into the campus garden because the sunlight felt good on my skin, and I needed something to feel normal. I was zoning out, sipping, walking. Then someone slammed into me. Hot coffee splashed across my shirt. Shit, sorry. Guess I'm still not good with hot things. I froze. My spine literally locked up. That voice, that exact tone. Husky, amused, warm. My heart started beating way too fast. I turned around, and there he was. A guy around my age, human, dark hair tousled like he'd been running his hands through it. Warm brown eyes, a crooked smirk. But my lungs forgot how to work because something in me screamed, him, him. It's him. Adem? It slipped out before I could stop it. He blinked. How do you know my name? My mouth opened, closed. I had no answer. My throat twisted on itself. Do we know each other? He asked, looking honestly confused. I don't know, I whispered. I think I do. Maybe. God, I don't know. He tilted his head, studying me like I was the one who bumped into him. His hand twitched like he wanted to touch me, then stopped halfway. My chest flooded with panic. Or longing. I didn't even know. Slowly, like he wasn't sure why, he lifted his hand again. I lifted mine too. Our palms touched, and everything slammed back into me. The kiss, the bond, the studying sessions, the punishments, the confession, his curse, his body in my arms as he faded. Good boy. The way he vanished in my arms. I gasped. Adem staggered too, grabbing my wrist as if holding me kept him from collapsing. His voice broke. Deniz! Tears spilled before I could stop them. You're here. You're real. You're human. He blinked hard, overwhelmed. I remember you. All of it. I don't know how, but God, His laugh cracked. I thought I imagined you. I actually laughed through the tears. You've got the same eyes as someone I once dreamt about. He stared at me, breath shaky. You're still making mistakes, scholar. A surprised laugh burst out of me. Yeah? Hit me with it. His smirk softened into something warm. Guess I'll have to keep tutoring you. No summoning required this time. My chest squeezed so painfully that I almost collapsed again. I took him to my dorm because there was nowhere else I could handle being right then. The moment I shut the door behind us, something inside me snapped. I lunged at him. Not to kiss, not to do anything crazy. Just to hold him. My arms wrapped around him so tight the air left my lungs. He caught me instantly, arms locking around my waist. Hey, breathe. I missed you, I choked out. I don't even know how I remembered you, but I did. Every dream, every ache. I thought I was losing my mind. Adem rested his forehead on my shoulder, voice thick. I missed you too, more than I should admit. I pulled back enough to look at him. How are you here, alive, human? He shrugged helplessly. I don't know. I remember fading, then nothing, like a deep sleep, and I woke up in a forest outside town. No markings, no curse, just me. That's enough, I whispered, cupping his face. You're back. That's enough. His eyes softened with something that made my stomach flip. Deniz. Yeah? Don't ever scare me like that again. I barked a wet laugh. You're the one who died. He snorted. Drama queen. I hate you. You really don't. No, I really don't. After a bit, I grabbed my exam report card, rolled in my pocket, and handed it to him. Look, I passed. Really passed. He scanned the paper. Then he looked at me with a dangerous smirk that sent heat straight to my spine. Well, well, he murmured, leaning in. You passed with flying colors. I swallowed. Yeah? His thumb traced my jaw slowly. You know what that means. I blinked. What? He pushed me onto the soft mattress with a grin so wicked I forgot how to breathe. You can have everything you begged for. My face went hot. Adem. He laughed, full and warm and devastatingly familiar. He tackled me onto the bed, both of us laughing too hard to aim properly. I elbowed him in the stomach. He bit my shoulder in revenge. We rolled until he pinned my wrists above my head, leaning down until we were breathing the same air. Missed this, he whispered. Me too. His forehead touched mine. His lips brushed mine. The world narrowed to him. And when his mouth finally claimed mine again, soft and slow and desperate, I laughed into the kiss, breathless, as he whispered, I'm not disappearing again. Not unless you shove me out the window. Tempting, I teased. Brat. He kissed me again. The scene faded into tangled sheets and breathy moans and his low groans against my neck. A month of emptiness was finally filled. And for the first time since the night he vanished, my world felt whole again. Epilogue. 6 months later. 6 months in, life with Adem was, honestly, ridiculous. Beautiful, yes. But also chaotic in a my boyfriend tried to assemble an IKEA shelf using demonic instincts kind of way. He's human now, which means magic can't save his mess-ups when you actually need food to survive and money to pay rent. Oh, well, yes, we rented a room together since now that he is human, I could no longer hide him in my dorm room. Thankfully, he's stupidly good with his hands. In a carpenter way, not just the other way that makes me blush every morning. So he landed a job fast. And apparently, people love a man who can build a table just by glaring at it thoughtfully. I was still drowning in coursework most days. That meant my routine became study, panic, study. Go home to find Adem sitting shirtless on the floor, fixing a chair I didn't know we owned. I complained about the mess. Yeah, that's me now, clean freak. He said, you love watching me work. I nearly swallowed my tongue. Anyway, today was one of those long class days. I walked out exhausted, rubbing my neck, scanning the campus automatically for one tall idiot who always waited for me. I found him standing near the pond by the science building, staring at something so intensely I thought he'd dropped a screw in the water or something. When I got closer, I saw 2 swans gliding over the surface, necks curved together like a heart. Of course, I sighed. You, bird watching now? He didn't turn, but I saw his grin. Not birds. Them, I frowned. Them? He finally looked at me, eyes warm. The love swans. My chest tightened. What about them? He exhaled slowly. And I remember how I came back. I stepped beside him, close enough that our arms brushed. Tell me. He watched the swans float quietly before speaking. After I vanished, there was this place like judgment. The Almighty was there. And those 2 swans, the angel ones. His voice softened. They told me they knew what I did was a mistake. That I spent centuries paying for it. That I deserved to feel love again. My throat tightened. So, they broke the curse. Yeah. He nudged me gently. And the next thing I knew, I woke up in a forest. Human, cold, annoyed, missing you so much it hurts. My eyes burned instantly. Adem, he laughed softly. There he goes, crying again. Shut up, I sniffed, grabbing his arm and clinging tight. While sniffing, I asked him about the reversal scroll and how I was able to retain my memories. You want to know everything, scholar, he said with a mischievous grin. I am still that demanding. A faint laugh came out. That's when he told me that because of that reversal scroll, he was in the judgment instead of completely disappearing. And since my love had been deeper for him, even when he was about to vanish, I somehow managed to retain the memories. But it got triggered when I touched him. It was as if he was the key to my lost memories. We stood there like that, watching the swans drift through the golden light of the setting sun. Adem leaned down to whisper, They look happy. I smiled, resting my head on his shoulder. Yeah, kind of like us. His fingers slid through mine, warm and sure. And this time, nothing. Not curses, not magic, not fate, could pull us apart. The end ever accidentally fallen for someone you absolutely weren't supposed to, then somehow ended up building a whole life with them anyway? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to become part of our Rainbow Force, and consider joining our membership for early access and exclusive content. Stay wholesome.